Hello, guys. I hope you're having a great night. Tonight we have some crazy news. A few days ago, I'm sure you all heard, Biden's personal owned DOJ, Robert Hers, released a report on the classified documents that Biden was also caught with. And according to him, he did mishandle documents and had them in possession. And he's unfit to stand trial, so they're not going to charge him. But contraire, on the other hand, they're still looking to charge Trump. Isn't that crazy, the double standard from this administration? Also, during the interview, according to Robert Hers, Biden couldn't remember when his son Beau died and didn't remember the year when he was vice president for Barack Hussein Obama. Also, if you guys recall, Trump was president, Biden was senator during the times he had these documents, and vice president during the times of these documents. And only presidents have that right to have documents on them under the Presidential Records Act. So it's crazy how they denied it due to unfit to stand trial, or Trump, on the other hand, they're still charging him. But anyways, I want to get to the video because it's pretty crazy, eye-opening for sure. But please comment, subscribe, like. Let's get it started.
As you know, the special counsel released his findings today about their look into my handling of classified documents. I was pleased to see he reached a firm conclusion that no charges should be brought against me in this case. This was an exhaustive investigation going back more than 40 years, even into the 1970s when I was still a new United States Senator. The special counsel acknowledged I cooperated completely. I did not throw up any roadblocks. I sought no delays. In fact, I was so determined to give the special counsel what he needed, I went forward with a 5-hour in-person interview over 2 days on October the 8th and 9th of last year, even though Israel had just been attacked by Hamas on the 7th and I was very occupied. It was in the middle of handling an international crisis. I was especially pleased to see special counsel make clear the stark distinction and difference between this case and Mr. Trump's case. The special counsel wrote, and I quote, "Several material distinctions between Mr. Trump's case and Mr. Biden's are clear," continuing to quote, "Most notably, after given multiple chances to return classified documents to avoid prosecution, Mr. Trump allegedly did the opposite. According to the indictment, he not only refused to return the documents for many months, he also obstructed justice by enlisting others to destroy evidence and then to lie about it. In contrast," he went on to say, "Mr. Biden turned in classified documents to the National Archives and the Department of Justice, consented to the search of multiple locations."
I have a question for you guys. Does anyone really believe anything that comes out of this guy's mouth? First off, I never heard of any evidence getting destroyed or Trump paying someone to destroy evidence. And also, that is a lie. Trump and his team has already come out and confirmed that they've been willing and working with the FBI this whole time. This was all from Biden himself. He orchestrated this. We all know it.
Including his home, sat for a voluntary interview, and in other ways cooperated with the investigation, end of quote. I've seen the headlines since the report was released about my willful retention of documents. These assertions are not only misleading, they're just plain wrong. On page 215, if you had a chance, I know it's a thick document. On page 215, the report of the special counsel found the exact opposite. Here's what he wrote. "There is, in fact, a shortage of evidence that I willfully retained classified materials related to Afghanistan." On page 12, the special counsel also wrote for another documents, "The decision to decline criminal charges was straightforward. The evidence suggests that Mr. Biden did not willfully retain these documents. The evidence said I did not willfully retain these documents." In addition, I know there's some attention paid to some language in the report about my recollection of events. There's even reference that I don't remember when my son died. How in the hell dare he raise that? Frankly, when I was asked the question, I thought to myself, it wasn't any of their damn business. Let me tell you something.
I would usually feel sorry for someone talking about their kid passing, and I do still a little bit feel bad for Biden. But seeing how his other two kids have turned out, his son a crackhead, selling foreign influence for money and bribes, and his dad was aware of that and addicted to crack and whores. Or I hate saying that, prostitutes. Sorry about that, prostitutes. Sorry about that, guys. Also, young girls, as you can see in his laptop, there's pictures and video evidence of it. And then, on the other hand, Ashley Biden, who in her diary, which she has confirmed on audio, I believe through emails as well with James O'Keefe. I'm not positive about that. I'm pretty sure about the email part, but I know that the audio has been confirmed that it's her diary. That Joe Biden, when she was a young girl, used to take inappropriate showers with his daughter and touch her inappropriately. So don't tell me he's a caring, loving dad. That's bullshit. I don't buy that at all. He only cares about himself, and that's it.
Some of you have commented, I wear since the day he died, every single day, the rosary he got from Our Lady of. Every Memorial Day, we hold a service remembering him, attended by friends and family and the people who loved him. I don't need anyone. I don't need anyone to remind me when he passed away or passed away. Simple truth is, I sat for a 5-hour interview over 2 days of events going back 40 years. At the same time I was managing international crisis, their task was to make a decision about whether to move forward with charges in this case. That's their decision to make. That's the council's decision to make. That's his job. And they decided not to move forward. For any extraneous commentary, they don't know what they're talking about. It has no place in this report. The bottom line is the matter is now closed. I'm going to continue what I've always focused on, my job of being President of the United States of America. Now, thank you, and I'll take some questions.
President Biden, something the special counsel said in his report is that one of the reasons you were not charged is because, in his description, you are a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president, and I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's totally out.
Anytime I hear this jackass talk, he just comes off as so ignorant. Oh, I have experience. I'm the best man. Dude, you've been in politics for what, 100 years? You haven't really accomplished anything at all. He was also known, if you guys recall, in the past for being a lifetime plagiarist. He lied about his college upbringing. He lied about his academics. He lied about his background, the sports he played, how good he was. Even like speeches, you can find these on YouTube. He has just copied like word for word. He's just scum. There's also videos on YouTube you could easily find, or Twitter, of him saying racist stuff his whole career. This guy is the epitome of disgusting. Yeah, he's not good for any position besides sitting in a basement and leaving the public alone.
Your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak. That's
your
my
memory has gotten worse, Mr.
No,
President?
my memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I become president. None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? I guess I just forgot what was going on.
Mr. President.
Voters have concerns about your age. How are you going to assuage them? And do you fear that this report is only going to fuel further concerns about your age?
Only by some of you.
Mr. President, you declared criminal liability today. Do you take responsibility for at least being careless with classified material?
I take responsibility for not having seen exactly what my staff was doing. It goes in and points out things that appeared in my garage, things that came out of my home, things that were moved not by me, but my staff.
Mr. President, for months when you were asked about your age, you would respond with the words, "Watch me." Many American people have been watching, and they have expressed concerns about your age.
That is your judgment. That is your judgment. That is not the judgment of the press.
They express concerns about your mental acuity. They say that you are too old. Mr. President, in December, you told me that you believe there are many other Democrats who could defeat Donald Trump. So why does it have to be you now? What is your answer
Because
to
I'm the
that
most
question?
qualified person in this country to be president of the United States and finish the job I started.
Do you believe that, guys? Mr. President, why are you confusing the names of world leaders?
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much.
I did not share classified information. I did not share it.
With your ghostwriter.
With my ghostwriter, I did not. Guarantee you did not.
But the
What
special counsel said in the
Well, no,
report
he
that he
did not say that.
Okay.
He did not say that.
But Mr. President, one of the.
Let me
Okay,
answer
thank
your
you.
question. The fact of the matter is, what I didn't want repeated, I didn't want him to know, and I didn't read it to him, was I had written a long memorandum to President Obama why we should not be in Afghanistan. And I was of this multiple pages. And so what I was referring to, I said classified. I should have said should be private because it was a contact between the president and the vice president as to what was going on. That's what it is referring to. It was not classified information in that document. That was not classified.
He called on me. When you look back at this incident, is there anything you would do differently now? And do you think that a special prosecutor should have been appointed in the first place in both of these cases?
First of all, what I would have done is oversee the transfer of the material that was in my office, in my offices. I should have done that. If I go back, I didn't have the responsibility to that. That was my staff was supposed to do that, and they referenced that in the report. And my staff did not do it in the way that, for example, I didn't know how half the boxes got in my garage until I found out staff gathered them up, put them together, and took them to the garage in my home. And all the stuff.
I gotta stop this jackass. Does anyone really believe that this man is blaming his staff for not putting the documents the correct way in his home and that he didn't know that they were there? He takes zero ownership for nothing. Has anyone throughout his presidency seen this guy take ownership or really show remorse for anything that has come under him? We got almost 4 wars. China's about to invade Taiwan. I guarantee that'll be 4 wars now. We got record inflation. We got crime. We got homelessness skyrocketing. We got an open border. Just everything's out of control. We're on the bricks of nuclear war. It's getting pretty bad. And this dude you can't take him seriously. I feel like every time I see him talk, he looks high, like he barely even keep his eyes open.
Stuff that was in my home was in filing cabinets that were either locked or able to be locked. It was in my house. It wasn't out in Mar-a-Lago in a public place and none of it was high classified. Didn't have any of that red stuff on it. You know what I mean? Around the corners? None of that. And so I wish I had paid more attention to how the documents were being moved and where. I thought they were being moved to the archives. I thought all of it was being moved. That's what I thought. Now, what was the last part of your question?
Whether a special counsel should have been appointed in this case and in the case of your rival president, former president.
I think a special counsel should have been appointed. And the reason I think a special counsel should have been appointed is because I did not want to be in a position that they looked at Trump and weren't going to look at me, just like they looked at the vice president. And the fact is they made a firm conclusion. I did not break the law, period. Thank you all very, very much.
As we all know, everything that comes out of Biden's mouth is a lie. He's a jackass. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe, and I will see you guys soon. Have a good night.